Hello? Press record? I don't have socks on. Hello, YouTube. Today I want to talk about something that has really interested me over the past, however long it's been since this video was uploaded. So, first I want to start off by saying I've always been a really big horror fan, as you can tell by my shirt, which is like a Bloody Mary Annabelle type shirt. I got it from fucking who knows what, Spencer's at the mall near my house, I don't know. But I really like horror content. That's the main point of what I wanted to say. And one of my favorite horror YouTube channels, they're actually playing right there in the background, Sam and Colby, right? I have loved Sam and Colby probably since I was like 10 years old, right? They've been my favorite YouTube channel since then, and they were the people who inspired me to do YouTube. And you know, it's weird to sit in front of a camera and film myself in my bedroom, but I'm sure every YouTuber has felt like that at some point. So besides the point, I ramble a lot. Sam and Colby, right? Sam and Colby were friends with this guy named Elton, right? And Elton was friends with this guy named Corey, right? And then together they all made the Trap House, right? Now you might be asking me, what is the Trap House? Now listen, I'm not gonna explain the Trap House because that would take literally an hour, because it was like years worth of content that they made in the Trap House. But simplest explanation, it was a group of friends and they all lived in the same house and they all just happened to be YouTubers, and so they made content together, kind of like Little Huddy and his friends in the TikTok house. So during the Trap House, Sam and Colby were running obviously the Sam and Colby channel, but they were also running their personal channels. They had this separate channel called TFIL, which stood for The Fun in Life. And during that YouTube channel, their main goal was to explore every country in A to Z order, to be specific, and I guess just make memories along the way because they were teenagers and having fun. And what else are you supposed to do, you know? And so one of the TFIL videos that I love, right, is this one, okay? And this is the one I want to talk about today. And you needed all that backstory to understand why I wanted to talk about this video, for the most part. So they are bungee jumping, right? And 6 years prior to this video being released, Elton had tried to get Corey to bungee jump before, probably on multiple different occasions, and he said no every time. Like, he was very solid on not bungee jumping at all, because he was just too scared, which is totally understandable. I personally don't think I could bungee jump, even if I was like out there on the ledge, because heights are also my biggest fear. And so Corey, having heights as his biggest fear, always said no, until the day that this video was recorded. And he had apparently earlier on in the day told Elton, like, hey, I want to go do the bungee jump, like, I'm gonna do it.
Guys, you're here because you want to be, mate. As you can see, we're not going to force you into it.
Literally this morning you're like, I'm gonna do it. Over there, you're like, I'm gonna do it. Flip that same switch.
And then they get up on the bungee jump and he is terrified, like fucking shaking in his custom baby seal leather boots type terrified. And he was like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I don't think I can do this and this. And like, it was a struggle to even get him out onto the platform. But at this point, 3 other people had gone, and one of them decided not to, but the other 2 had gone through with it and jumped and said it was amazing. And so I feel like he was definitely feeling a little bit of FOMO, as anybody would in that scenario, because what if it really is great? You know, you never know until you do it. And he like worked himself through, you know, the fear of jumping and getting to the platform and all kinds of stuff like that. And then he jumped.
Deep breath, mate, because you're out here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah! And he came back up and he said it was like one of the most liberating things that he's ever done. You know, he felt like he could do anything immediately after. And watching that video when it came out, because I was an avid follower of their weekly, daily, whatever the fuck uploads, was so inspiring to me. Because when I first watched the video, I didn't even think I could get on a plane. Have I been on a plane? No. But do I feel like I could get on a plane now? Yes. So, you know, the fear's already been mentally worked through. But when that video came out, my biggest fear was getting on a plane. I couldn't even imagine doing a fucking whatever height that jump was, free fall into no pillows or anything, like no mat, nothing, just free fall. They catch you with the bungee and then they reel you back up. And I'm sure that Corey on the ledge probably couldn't fathom that he would ever do it either. and then he did it. And I think that video is such a beautiful display of how a person can overcome their biggest fear with not only enough support from people that they care about, that they feel care about them, but also just from like giving themselves time to think of and like rationalize the decision to do said thing that's scary, but not letting themselves fester in the negative emotions of like the fear and the anxiety, you know, because whenever you're doing something scary, you're obviously going to be scared, and that's natural and normal, but doing things scared is an option. And I don't think anybody should ever let fear hold them back from doing that. And like, perfect example, before filming this YouTube video, I literally was like getting anxious thinking about filming it, because being in front of a camera, sitting in my bedroom, seems fucking ridiculous. And I feel ridiculous right now, but I'm doing it anyway because obviously, you know, as I said earlier on in the video, YouTube has been a dream of mine since I was 10 years old. So it's worth it to try, you know. I think not doing it at all is a bigger regret that I'd have later in life than trying it and having it not work out. So that really was what inspired me to make this video. It's probably going to be really short, so I'm obviously not going to be able to monetize it because I have no subscribers, but even if I did have subscribers, it wouldn't be monetizable because it's not over 10 minutes yet. So if the video reaches 10 minutes, comment down 10-minute gang and then your favorite emoji down below. Back to the main point. I just think this video is a great video, emotionally to watch, mentally to watch. If you're struggling with something that's like difficult for you, you know, like if you're thinking about getting a job for the first time, or getting a new job at, you know, somewhere you've never worked before, or a type of establishment that you haven't had personal training in, it's scary. I'm sure that you're scared of that change, or, you know, something about that is scaring you, obviously, because you haven't made the decision yet. And I think watching this video can definitely help you work through a lot of that fear, because when you see him jump, you know, you really envision yourself in that situation and think like, oh, what would I do? And you probably would have no idea, because I have no idea what I'd do in that situation. But you can apply the same thinking to the things in your life currently that you are afraid of. You are so much stronger than you think that you are, and I think everybody should think that about themselves, you know, because people limit themselves a lot in their own head, whether that's like physically, you know, thinking like, oh, I can't hit this personal record in the gym because I'm not strong enough yet, or mentally where they're like, oh, I'm not gonna pass this test because I'm not smart enough, you know. If you believe in yourself, I'm not gonna say that anything can happen, but I will definitely say if you believe in yourself and think that you can do something, even if you deep down feel like you can't, you can trick your brain into having more confidence, and going into any situation that's scary with more confidence is obviously always going to be better, but it's also going to help you make more rational decisions, you know. And I also just think people should believe in themselves, but I'm not going to get into all that sappy blah blah blah, because then the video would be 16 hours long and nobody has time for that. Honestly, I think that's majority all I wanted to say. Hopefully somewhere throughout the video I found a spot to play the clip of Corey jumping and their reactions. If I didn't, insert the clip now.
Can you count for 10? 3, 2, 1! Yeah! Wow!
It's interesting, and being 2 years older now than I was when I first saw the video when it came out, I was rewatching it and I was like, damn, this shit is inspiring. Like, it inspired me 2 years later the same way that it did 2 years ago when I first watched it. And that's how I know that a YouTube video is impactful to me. And so I like to share things that are impactful to me to others so that they can also be impacted by them. And I think this YouTube video and a lot of the older videos on the TFIL channel and all of Sam and Colby videos are definitely worth giving a watch. Not that me shouting them out is gonna give them any more clout than they already have, but, you know, it's coming from a pure of heart type vibe. You know, I just really like the guys and what they do, and paranormal ghost hunting is cool. What's up, YouTube? I was filming the outro for this fucking video, and then my phone cut off because I ran out of storage. So what I wanted to say is, it's cool to overcome your fears. I love that as a concept, and I think that the video really shows that it's cool to be kind, it's cool to be cool, and it's cool to do the thing that's right. But also, it's cool to be a human, because being human is hard, and things are hard. So be as kind as possible, be as cool as possible, and do the thing that's right in the most scenarios as you possibly can. Love y'all.